Every gilded cage is built with walls of comfort. The only question is what you're paying for them.
All right, we're about to go on a journey, a 100-year journey, really. We're going to start with the very first PR campaigns and end up with the AI that, well, might be shaping your thoughts as we speak. This is the story of how mass control evolved, and believe me, it's way more personal than you might think. So let's just start with a really basic question. Think about it. Are your thoughts truly your own? You're getting hit with this tidal wave of information every single day, right? But how much of that is designed not just to inform you, but to, steer you? We're going to find out just how deep that rabbit hole really goes. Okay, so to really get a grip on where we are today, we've got to go back. I mean, way back to the beginning. We need to meet the original architect of the public mind. So that quote you're seeing, that comes from a guy named Edward Bernays. He's known as the father of public relations. And get this, he was actually Sigmund Freud's nephew. And his core belief, honestly, it's pretty shocking. He argued that a real democracy actually needs an invisible government, a group of elites to manipulate the masses for, their own good. Now, Bernays was smart. He knew that the word propaganda had gotten a really bad rap after World War I. It was a dirty word. So what did he do? He rebranded it. He came up with this much more palatable term, the engineering of consent. And the absolute genius of this was to stop selling things and start selling feelings. The whole idea was to link a product not to something you need, but to some deep, unconscious desire. And here's his method in action. It's brilliant, really. To sell cigarettes to women, which was a huge taboo at the time, he didn't just create an ad. No, he staged a full-on rebellion. He literally hired a bunch of high society debutantes to light up and smoke during a big parade, and he told the press to call their cigarettes torches of freedom. All of a sudden, smoking wasn't just a habit, it was an act of liberation. He completely flipped a social taboo and turned it into a symbol of female power. And it was all just a manufactured news event. Okay, so if Bernays was all about actively creating desire, the next big leap in understanding this stuff was about something way more subtle. It's about filtering reality before you even get a chance to see it. This brings us to Herman and Chomsky and their landmark book, Manufacturing Consent. They made a really bold claim. They said the mass media itself is a propaganda system. But here's the most brilliant and kind of scary part. There's no conspiracy. There's no secret room where someone is giving orders. The control is just baked right into the system, into the very structure of how news gets made. Just think of it like a series of filters that every story has to pass through. First, who owns the media? Well, huge for-profit corporations. Second, who pays the bills? Advertisers. So you can't really report on anything that's going to upset them. Third, where does the info come from? Mostly official government and corporate sources, because it's cheap and easy. And if a journalist does step out of line, they get flack, which is just organized, heavy-duty backlash. So after a story goes through all those filters, what are you left with? A very, very narrow view of the world, one that almost never challenges the people in power. And that brings us right up to today. Now, those old gatekeepers, the editors, the TV producers, they're still around for sure, but they've been almost completely overshadowed by a new kind of power, one that's faster, way more personal, and almost totally invisible. See, the new gatekeepers aren't people sitting in a newsroom. They're algorithms. The code that runs your TikTok feed, your YouTube recommendations, your Facebook wall, that's the new editor-in-chief. And this new editor decides what billions of us see every single day. And its guiding principle isn't truth. It's something else entirely. And this is the absolute key shift right here. The old models, from Bernays to Chomsky, they were all about manufacturing consent. But the new model, it's all about manufacturing engagement. The algorithm couldn't care less if you agree with something. It only cares that you keep watching, keep scrolling, keep clicking. Because in this new world, your attention is the product that's being sold. So, what's the single best way to keep you hooked? Well, the algorithms have figured it out. Raw, unfiltered emotion. Outrage works. Anger works. Fear gets clicks. You know what doesn't? Nuance, thoughtful discussion. So the algorithm just naturally feeds us the stuff that's the most polarizing, not the stuff that's the most true. It's just a machine that amplifies whatever keeps our eyes glued to the screen. And the result of all this is what one analyst, Eli Pariser, famously called the filter bubble. It's pretty simple, actually. The algorithm sees what you like, and it just shows you more of the same, slowly but surely walling you off from any ideas that might challenge you. It builds this cozy, comfortable, personalized reality just for you. And that filter bubble, it quickly turns into an echo chamber. All you hear are your own beliefs reflected back at you, over and over and over again. And after a while, those beliefs stop feeling like opinions, and they start feeling like undeniable, obvious facts. But it gets even deeper, because influencing your feed, that's one thing. The next evolution in this game is to bypass your conscious, rational mind entirely and start targeting you at a subconscious level. And this is where we get into the science of psychographics. Every single like, every share, every search you've ever made, it all leaves a digital footprint. And all that data can be vacuumed up and used to build a profile of you. Not just what you buy, but who you are. Your personality, your fears, your hidden values. And if you think this sounds like science fiction, it's not. This is exactly how the whole Cambridge Analytica scandal worked. Believe it or not, psychographics was just the beginning. Now we have neuromarketing. And the thinking here is, well, it's kind of chilling. It's why bother asking people what they like in a focus group when they might lie or not even know themselves, when you can just hook them up to a machine and measure their brain's reaction directly. The goal is to completely skip your conscious thoughts and tap right into that deep, automatic, subconscious part of your mind that really calls the shots. And just look at the toolkit they're using. This isn't just surveys anymore. We're talking about medical-grade technology. Brain scanners like EEG and fMRI that measure electrical activity and blood flow. Eye tracking to see exactly where you look. Even AI that analyzes the tiny twitches in your face to figure out how you're feeling. It's basically a full-blown scientific mission to find the perfect, hidden buy button inside your brain. And this, it goes without saying, raises a massive ethical red flag, right? If a company can target your subconscious desires directly, they are literally bypassing your ability to make a free and rational choice. At a certain point, this stops being marketing, and it starts becoming a profound invasion of our mental privacy. So this whole journey we've been on, from shaping public opinion, to filtering information, to hacking the subconscious, it all leads us to one final and frankly pretty startling frontier. We're reaching a point where the goal isn't just to influence reality anymore. It's to program it from the ground up. Just think about the tools that are emerging right now. AI that can clone your voice perfectly from a 5-second clip. Deepfake videos that can make it look like anyone said or did anything. You combine that with generative AI that can pump out millions of fake articles, fake social media posts, fake everything. You no longer just have tools that can distort reality, you have an assembly line for creating a brand new one. This is where you hear some futurists talking about something they call a planetary-scale digital twin. And what does that mean? Well, imagine an AI operating system for the entire planet. An AI that doesn't just create a model of our world, but one that actively predicts what's going to happen and then manages it. And that right there, that is the ultimate goal. We've gone from influencing opinion to engineering engagement, and now we're staring down the barrel of systems designed to actively manage human reality on a global scale. Which really just leaves us with one final, very big question to think about. When our news feeds are perfectly curated for us, when our subconscious is being directly targeted, and when reality itself is becoming programmable, what does it even mean to be free anymore?